Hello everyone and welcome again in G Production. This is the last of the 4 videos of my bike trip around Yunnan. As you've seen in the previous 3 videos, we went from Kunming up north to the Chin on the border with Tibet, then far south in the lowlands where I got so wet. The trip started with 2 friends, a British guy and a Chinese guy. We went from Lijiang, Dali, the Chin. Then we had to say goodbye to each other right on the border with Tibet, where I could not go inside. I took the long way down alone across amazing sceneries and across a lot of rain, so much that I had to take a bus at some point. But today we're gonna see the last of the 4 videos, from Yuanyang and the rice terrace to Kaiwan, across pineapple fields, Gaude, a place I never heard before, across the big lakes, and in Kunming. Let's go! We start in Honghe, where I took a small pagoda as my shelter. However, in the morning I woke up and figured out there were some people staring at me. After a not light breakfast as usually, I took the road to Yuanyang, one of the most beautiful places in China, with its rice terrace famous around the world. The road up to Yuanyang is very steep, real countryside road, and the heavy rain pouring on me is not making the adventure easier. I enjoy the scenery when I can, across some parts riding and some parts walking. It's a very long day and I really want to get in a bed. After a small meal made mostly of Chinese baozi, some kind of steamed bread, I made it to ride the last kilometers under a gorgeous sky with amazing views. Really worth the long ride. And once in Yuanyang, I will sleep in a bed. This is my day of rest and I will definitely enjoy the view. Day of rest, as usually, I start by cleaning and repairing my bike, and once done that, I enjoy getting lost around the wild nature of Yuanyang, a town famous for the rice terrace, UNESCO World Heritage, so much that they have built some fake villas to look like traditional houses, even though they're all empty because they're just too expensive. Once in the town, I discovered that they like to enjoy some very typical snacks around here, and of course, it's my carb loading day and I want to try everything. Meanwhile, I figure out that they haven't seen foreigners here in a long while, even though the place is so famous. So I make some friends that show me around, and they also show me how to eat these weird snacks made of tofu, meat, and who knows what's that. Yuanyang, in a way, reminds me a lot of my hometown in Albania, with strong nature, wild animals, and strong culture as well. Therefore, I enjoy walking around here and I almost feel home, even though I'm 10,000 kilometers away. Local people try to explain me something of their culture. However, the dialect that they use in this area of China is very hard to understand, so we have to understand each other with gestures. It's time to go back. Get ready, because tomorrow, a new day of riding. After my usual drip coffee, I wait for the clouds to get out of the way, and once the view is clear, it's time to go. Time to head down from 1,600 meters down to 400 meters. Let's go. It's gonna be a long descent. On the way down, my attention is attracted by a local tofu factory. Especially the tofu made here, it looks like small balls of cheese. Therefore, I'm very interested in seeing how it's made, because tofu here is very different from Zhejiang, where I live. After this fast and free visit to the factory, it's time to go again. Ride on my bike and keep going downhill. Bike riding gives you the opportunity to stop whenever you want and whenever something attracts your attention, like these bee farmers. I never see an hive so close with all the bees working hard. It was really amazing. Amazing, like this guy with his electric bike. At first I thought he was a real athlete, and then I figured out it was an electric bike. By evening time I get in Kaiwan. I find another small pagoda where to set up my tent, go around for another dinner made of tofu, visit the local mushroom, still too expensive for me. And then the morning after, ready again. The sun is blessing me. I feel all the energy again, ready for one more day. Just hope that the sun will stay there and the clouds won't come. However, even though the morning was promising, in the afternoon the rain again poured down on me, so heavy that I had to stop with the risk of getting cold and sick. After almost half an hour of break, I hit the road again, and the clouds are now dissipating and I can see the way. I can see the mountains and I can see the view. Really worth. This view really made that wait worth it. On top of the mountains I can see the rain far away. However, it won't touch me this time. Right before evening, I find a place where to set up my tent in a building, an house in construction. Something new. After the usual dinner made of tofu, I get ready for one more day of riding, direction the Great Lakes. After a month on the road, my legs start to get tired, and every climb becomes even harder, and the rain always upon me. This time I wanna cut it short. Even though it's very early, I don't wanna get wet. I stop by the lake to enjoy the view, and I call it a day. I find a place where to park my bike, have a meal and rest. I'm not in a hurry. It's the last day of my trip, and in front of me there are the last 100 kilometers before heading back to Kunming. After giving a last nostalgic view to Lake Fushan, I go for my last ride. As I learned in this trip, meeting and listening at what locals have to say It's a precious experience that makes cycling meaningful as a way to share our experiences and our thoughts. As I enter Kunming for the very last kilometers, many thoughts come across my mind. And while I wish I had the right word to describe the deep meaning of my adventure, I have to rather hope that this video gave the viewer a short insight on how to do bike touring in China and what to expect.
We are burning up in our cars and in our hearts, better days, sleeping late without headaches, perfect weather, congregate, lay in wait for an answer. We're still waiting, grit your teeth for lucky taste as the day breaks.
Now that my trip is approaching the end, I almost missed the days in the mountains, alone in the cold, in places that I never imagined to come across before. I end up wondering if the goal of my trip was to see Yunnan or just be on the road with no fixed direction. I have no answer yet. I guess I will keep looking. Either way, the trip does not end today. I just need a rest now. And after that, I will go back on the road.